Hello and welcome to Mama T Energy. I am Tiara Jená Hairston, better known as Mama T, and I am the host of this podcast. And today I want to talk to you about the ancestors. This is a beautiful time to have this discussion as we are coming towards Samhain, however you choose to pronounce it, the thinning of the veil. Halloween, All Hallows Eve, All Saints Day, Dia de los Muertos. There's so much celebration happening right here, right now, that bring us in connection with the other side. And in that, I want to hold this space for conversation around connecting with our lineage, our past, the knowledge of our ancestors, as well as letting go of the things that no longer need to show up in our line. So, with that, let's begin with who are you? Who am I? As I said at the beginning, I am Tiara Jená Hairston, and I will say I am descendant of royalty, descendant of slaves, descendant of so many different archetypes in our world. And I have come to a place of understanding that I get to choose to bring forward the characteristics that best align with me from my lineage. I get to choose to lean on my ascended ancestors for their support. I get to choose how I dive into my line, who I connect with, and who I allow through to offer advice. I think this is very important as I have gone through my spiritual introductions and learned about connecting with the other side and mediumship in all different aspects of spirituality. One thing that has come forward is this essence of fear of connecting to the spiritual plane, fear of someone, a ghost, whomever, something that is meaning you ill will coming forward. And the first thing I want to bring forward in this conversation is in my personal belief structure, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It is a song I often sang in church growing up, and it's something that really holds truth in myself, in my lineage. Or at least in myself. Let's backtrack there. Something I hold true within myself. There is no need for me to worry what's happening on the other side because I have such confidence and conviction in myself and in my spirit squad, as I like to call them, that I know I am safe. That does not mean and say that there is nothing out there that is out there trying to do us harm. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that I hold myself to a standard that means that I see my field as an impenetrable force. That is what I am saying. So within that, I don't play into the fear. And to the fear of connecting to those who have something to teach me so that we can do better on this side. That is my goal, and that is why I connect. I don't connect with everyone. My personal choice is ascended ancestors. And what I mean by the word or phrase ascended ancestors are those who no longer have any sort of emotional attachment to the results that happen within my life. Meaning that if I, let's say, want to be a singer, and I have a great, 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 great grandmother who has a story of pursuing performance and being beaten down and something not going her way. And it was a sad and tumultuous story. And they are continuing to hold on to that story in the ancestral plane. And so they have fear for me pursuing the same experience. They're fearful that I will fall down and fail and be hurt and be talked about and all of this. And they're carrying all of this fear. I don't want to play into that energy or in that frequency. I want to cut the cords to that line of thinking within our line. So I choose not to engage with that energy, frequency, ancestor. I let them know that they can pray for my success. That is a boundary. And I find it so much easier to place boundaries within the spiritual realm than those who are here on our earthly plane, to be wholly honest. It gets to be simple when we choose it to be so. And I think it is so important that we choose it to be so. I'm hearing a call to pull some cards. So before we dive deeper into this discussion of ancestry, I'm going to pull some cards from the Light Seers Tarot, calling forward my ascended ancestors to share a message with myself and those listening whenever, wherever they are. What do you want us to know right here and right now? I love it. I feel like this message is very much in alignment with what I just said. We first have the chariot, and the chariot saying that we choose which direction we are going to lead ourselves, our lives. Where are we going? There can't be a wobble. We can't go left and right at the same time. We have to decide, right? And we have to be clear. And leaning into this Seven of Wands, it is such this energy of the Seven of Wands and this divine groundedness in our choices lead us to that King of Pentacles, leads us to creating results where we look back over our lives and are like, holy crap. I have a mentor that often says, you will ask how to do it until you, I'm messing up the quote. It is, hold on, let me sit with it. You will ask how it is done until you have done it. It's something along those lines. That's not the right wording, but basically the essence of the quote is meaning that you're going to keep going, keep doing these actions, and then next thing you know, you're going to look behind you and realize that you've made the results. You've done the thing that you have intended, but you had to learn along your way to find your way to do it. Yes. And then people are going to be asking you how to do what it is that you have already done. And so, with that, you choose where you want to go. You choose who you want to connect with. You make these choices and you hold firm to these choices, regardless of what the naysayers say, regardless of this is literally the no weapon formed against me visual I have of myself as well. Right here, like it's like no matter what is pointed your way, you are holding into your heart and your knowing and your solar plexus and your sacral, like you are holding all of your energy, your thoughts, your navigation system, your compass. You're holding strong and firm to it. Next thing you know, you have everything that you desire, and you are looking over what it is that you've created with such pride and joy, for it is yours. And know that, yes, you get to be supported along the way by your spirit squad that gets to include your ancestors if you choose them to do so. Yes. So, how am I connecting with my ancestors? One of my favorite ways is brewing a beautiful cup of cacao. I find cacao to be so grounding and connected. And so when I do ancestral work, I love to brew myself a cup of cacao, sit in meditation, calling forward. I usually light some sort of herb. I have an abundance of white sage, but also copal, palo santo. What else is there? Rosemary, whatever you have available to you. And I am a big proponent of using what you have available. Yes, there are traditional herbs and things that you can go for and purchase and buy, but I really find it to be one even deeper of a practice if you have herbs that you've grown yourself to use. And I know not everyone has the privilege to go out into a yard and pick or, have a community garden or anything like that. So, use what you have. If you already have purchased some sage, palo santo, copal, whatever you may have, then use it, yes. Um, but also recognizing that as we use our herbs, our oils, our crystals, these are all gifts from Mother Earth. And as such, we should treat them with the respect they deserve and not deplete just to fit an aesthetic. Yes. So as I connect, I may sing. It might look a little different each time. If I feel a song on my heart, and I think this will be conversation for another episode is the power of song and connection. But yes, I do whatever feels right in the moment, whatever I choose, as the chariot would say. What is right in the moment to bring forward my ascended ancestors. And the visual I get is like I have my soul squad, my ascended ancestors, ascended masters, God, highest self, maybe even any other deities that I am tapping into at that time. I see them in a close circle around me. Yes, like we're all in like King Arthur's table circled around, and then there is a second layer of those who love me, but I may not be leaning into their specific knowledge at that point in time, right? So there are those that I still am like, hey, I love you in my energetic field, but I don't want to take your advice right now. It's like you have that uncle who always is like, "Hey, hey, niece, let me tell you how to make $1 million," but they never seem to have two quarters rubbing together. So it's like, thank you, and I am not going to follow through with whatever you just told me. Yes, so we can hold them with love and let them be in our field and let them connect and chat with us, but we don't have to act upon whatever was discussed. Yes. So there is the importance of holding firm and creating those boundaries. And so I am also blessed to have access to a book. Someone else took the time to go out and research the Hairstons. So my paternal lineage has a book that goes back to the 1700s, 1600s. I want to say 1700s-ish, with the coming across of one of the Hurstons, pronounced slightly different, um, from Scotland, starting from Scotland, going to Ireland, and then coming to the Americas, and their procurement of slaves and how the intermixing of those lines to create this line that have people that look light skinned like me, and all that is entailed within that. So I get to explore the actual history in alignment with myself and my last name. And that gives me a boost of confidence to continue to call upon these ancestors and having some names that I can actually relate to. And I can look at the family tree and see what feels right to me. That is my practice, right? I might see a name and be like, nope, that doesn't feel right. I might see another name and be like, yeah, that's someone that I want to sit with, right? And I can go into meditation and invoke that name and see what happens. And in this, I want to share in this practice that it doesn't mean that I sit down and I say, Aunt Susie Q, let's have lunch or whatever, and like sit in meditation for 20 minutes and then she tells me her life story. It's not like that. Um, it may look like calling forward, mm, calling forward Coretta and Anne Hairston and sitting down, calling that name forward and seeing what comes through. It might be I don't have a name, but calling someone and a name might pop up. And then it might be just silence, 5, 10, 15 minutes, however long I have to dedicate to this practice. But then next thing you know, I'm cooking and there is this energy that is like feeling like they are telling me how to make this dish that I've never made before, and or add an ingredient that I've never added before, and it adds another depth of umami to the flavor profile. And then or it may look like a dream comes forward and I'm having a conversation with someone that I've never seen before and names are showing up and a lot happens. I've talked a lot about dream work on this podcast, so a lot does come forward, a lot clearer within my dreams, even if they are a metaphor for whatever is going on in my life. But it's also about what is my intention, yeah? Because most of the time I'm not seeking just for being a historian of my family. I am seeking information and connection so that we can better my life and the life of our lineage, for me, for you, for us, that we continue to move forward in a energy of freedom and love and prosperity. Those are my goals. Letting go of the fear of oppression, letting go of the anger and frustration of slavery, and really moving forward in a good way. That is my purpose in connecting with my ancestors and knowing this work and also pulling forward the arts, the healing arts most specifically from my line. I come from a line that has medicine men and women as well as actors and singers. And so I get to mix those talents together. There is healing in the song, and there is healing in the herbs, and then there's healing within our energy and our frequency. And so that is what I am bringing forward. And as I am diving forward, I'm also understanding the connections and how magical my mentors are that have shown up for me. I have Karina Del Pezzo, who has a background in curanderismo as well as hoodoo, and this her Afro-Latina mixture of knowledge has helped to awaken me to practice these different yet so similar rituals, spells, if you will, as well as my other mentor, Sochi Villa, and her lineage of curanderismo and her initiation into such powerful ritual, magic, and medicine. And I'm so grateful to have these leaders, these powerful women, these mentors and teachers to share with me parts of themselves. This is the work. And I know that my guides, my ascended ancestors have brought these women into my life for a reason. That reason being their strength, their confidence, and their knowing, and their ability to allow me to step forward in my full power without any sort of witchy wound or feeling like I have to be smaller to stay underneath their wing. That is magic, and that is the guidance that can come forward when we tap into our guides and ancestors and spiritual realm. So, as I learn more about what those who have come before me have practiced, I get to layer that into my work, as well as taking on different aspects that align. And I find that the things that align with me most likely align because it's something that has been practiced in my line and or a past life, which is a whole nother conversation. Um, there's so much wisdom that we can pull forward from our ancestors and those who've come before us that are still on this earth when we open up the pathway to communication. And so I invite you to find peace in the conversation. And if you would like support within that, shoot me a DM. I would love to chat with you. I'm Mama T Energy on Instagram and TikTok, although I don't TikTok as much as I have in the past. YouTube, Facebook. So if you want to shoot me a DM, I recommend Facebook, Tiara Jená, accent over the A, and Mama T Energy on Instagram. And we can discuss this further and what it would look like for me to support you and your ancestral research and journey. I know this is powerful work. I know that there are such beautiful ways that we can celebrate those who have come before us. Whether you build an altar and have pictures and favorite foods and totems, whether you light a candle, maybe just stopping, closing your eyes, and sending up a prayer of gratitude to those before you before you move on with your day. It doesn't have to be extraordinarily expensive or time consuming. It is a moment of intention. And that is what life as ritual means, bringing intention to the day to day, the moment to moment aspects of our lives. So, with that, I want to say happy Dia de los Muertos, happy Samhain, happy Halloween, happy All Saints Day, and any other holidays that you celebrate, or just happy day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I love you.